Breakfast with some governors. Mr. Trump did not invite two Democrats, Maryland's Wes Moore and Jared Polis of Colorado. The president just chaired the first meeting of an international panel committed to stabilizing and rebuilding war-torn Gaza. Now futures down 25 points. More details on news.com.
Because when nature calls, they answer. Call 785-728-8089. That's 728-8089. Topside Portables and Pumping. Reliable, local, clean.
It's time to step into premium capability at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland with strong GMC offers happening now. Get into a 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation with up to $7,000 in rebates, now $51,150. And if you're ready for a full-size luxury, the 2026 GMC Yukon features 1.9% APR for well-qualified buyers. Full design, professional-grade performance. GMC delivers power and refinement wherever the road takes you. Visit Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland today or online at hurlchev.com.
Craving something delicious? McDonald's has you covered. From hot, fresh breakfast to juicy burgers and crispy fries, there's something for everyone, any time of day. And don't forget to try our classic McCafe coffee or refreshing McFlurry. Visit us in Colby, Goodland, Burlington, and Lamar for fast, friendly service and the flavors you love. Drive through, dine in, or order ahead on the McDonald's app. We'll have it fresh and ready. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
Looking for insurance that actually puts you first? At the insurance agency in downtown Goodland, we're independent, which means we work for you. Whether it's auto, home, crop, or business, we shop top carriers to get you the best coverage at the best price. No pushy sales, just honest advice from people who live right here in your community. Give us a call today at 785-899-5011 or stop by 1020 Main in Goodland and let's get you covered. The Insurance Agency. Insurance the way it should be.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's time for the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
The amount of money getting thrown around to quarterbacks who haven't done diddly squat is amazing to me.
And Connor Schuh,
He's the new guy.
the High Plains only local sports talk show, broadcasting live on Goodland's Rocket 102.5 and video streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody!
Covering it all from the preps
He's at the 10, the 5, he dives for the end zone, he's in! Touchdown, Cowboys!
to the pros.
Line drive, left field, base hit. Here comes McMahon. He'll score. Ball game.
The Blitz is presented by Pearl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, along with
Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell, the Insurance Agency, Pest Away LLC, Topside Portables and Pupping, and the Farmer State Bank in Oakley.
Let's go to work.
Picked off by Harden. James Harden on the run. Harden alley-oop. Oh, my! Showtime here in downtown Cleveland.
The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move. Cuts to the net. Score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero. The United States wins gold and belong.
What a great call to wrap up the U.S. Women's Hockey gold medal match victory. Kenny Albert on the call there. That was fantastic. Very well done on his part. He's got a great sound for hockey. I think that's why he gets to do a lot of hockey. He's got a great sound for it.
I think it's his main sport. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would say it is. But, he does the NFL, too, for Fox. I think he still does NFL football.
Yeah, he does.
He does a pretty good job, I'd say, overall. Did you do some adjustments to your microphone?
Did I?
It feels like you did. Whatever you did, I don't know.
No, I didn't do a thing.
Oh, okay. You just sound a little different this morning. You're still coming through fine. It just sounds a little different than it.
It might be up a little bit here. Let me turn it down just a touch.
Yeah, maybe you're just a touch hot. Maybe that's what's going on.
I think so. There we
All right.
go.
There we go. Now you're more like yourself. Just from I was like, you get used to hearing someone a certain way, and all of a sudden it's like, well, that don't sound right.
Yeah, I must have bumped the thing or something.
Yeah. It's all right. Not a huge deal. We're off and rolling here on a Friday. It would just add to today because the log wasn't built for the show like it usually is. And so I was kind of like, what in the world is going on? And so now I've got to make some adjustments through the middle of the show and get that all fixed so we can have a good program here today. But hope so it's just a little of a freaky Friday here today. Hope everyone is having a good start to your Friday. It's February the 20th. It is a chilly one outside. It feels like February today. 12 degrees currently is the temperature outside the KKCI studios here in Goodland. A high of 35 today. Temperatures could get down to the single digits tonight. It could be really, really cold night. And then we're going to see once again a warm up through the rest of the week. And we'll see 40s on Saturday and Sunday, and then temperatures into the 50s and then 60s and even 70s in the early part of next week. There is once again a chance of some snow tonight and today. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of accumulation. Tonight is the best chance for snow, around 70% chance of some of the white stuff going on tonight. Our neighbors to the north, where I'm from, they got hit with some good snow last night. I saw anywhere from kind of like 3 to 9 inches of snow.
Oh, jeez.
In parts of Nebraska. I saw right along I-80.
Bring it down here. Come on.
Yeah, but right along I-80, which I'm sure that just causes all kinds of great traffic issues on Interstate 80. So anyway, we'll see. We might get a little bit of the white stuff here coming up tonight. Today's program, it's a Friday show. We'll get to picks of the weekend coming up here a little bit in segment 2. We'll touch on the interesting new anti-tanking rules in the NBA. I like this topic because I saw a list of these, and these are intriguing. There are some things in sports that you need to think outside the box on. There are certainly some things you need to think outside the box on. There are some things that are just plain and simple right in front of you. If you did it, it would fix the problem. But there's a lot of non-common sense that happens in sports, it seems like nowadays. The big conversation is they're talking about expanding the NCAA tournament. And it's amazing to see how everybody but the NCAA says, this is a bad idea. Why are we talking about this?
And now they're pushing it forward, or at least talking about it more. It's
They're
crazy.
talking about more. They're going to talk about more after this year's tournament about expanding it. And everyone's like, why are we doing this? This is so dumb. Why don't you fix the problems that you have with like the portal and other things going on with all these kind of problems that you're having? Why don't you fix that? Instead, you'd rather talk about expanding the tournament.
The donors aren't interested in that, Ross. Come on.
But I'm not the only one saying that. There's tons of people saying that.
Oh, I know, but it's all money.
Oh, it is. It is all about the money. And that's why the NCAA wants to expand the tournament. About money.
Yeah.
They want more money to get that. It's their biggest cash cow of the year, and they want to find a way to get more money. And that means more games, more television opportunities, more revenue, more ticket sales, all that stuff. So anyway, we'll get to that coming up in segment 3. And we will just, we're going to talk a little regional wrestling, a little high school basketball. Regular season comes to an end tonight. We'll have a little sub-state bracket discussion as well for basketball. As we get here into segment number 1, it's always the FNB Bank text line is open at 785-899-2222. If you'd like to message the show, give us your thoughts, comments, and opinions on anything. We'd love to hear from you. Questions as well, always welcome. Kyle, great question and asker. If you've got questions for us this morning, we'll try to get to those here on the program as well. But I want to start off with regional wrestling. Regional wrestling getting underway today around the state for the boys. Of course, the girls were last weekend. The boys now take center stage, if you want to call it that, and they will begin their quest for the state tournaments. You have just in a quick little synopsis of it, if you want to put it that way. 3 through 1A wrestlers will be competing in Norton. They go to Norton for regionals. And then 4A wrestlers, Colby and Goodland, will be competing at Beloit. That is where they are going for regional wrestling, which gets going today and runs through Saturday. For those who don't know, I always have to double check because I don't know why, I just can't remember, but or it changes or because the girls are different, and it is that way. Top 4 in each weight class go to state. So you got to finish top 4. The girls, it was different. You had to just pretty much place. You had to get top 8 to make it to state because there's only 2 regionals in girls. There's 4 regionals for boys. You got to finish top 4. So you finish 4th or better, you're on your way to state. So that's what we'll see what happens here. I was looking at the Kansas, the KWCA, which is the Kansas Wrestling Coach Association, their rankings for going into the pre-regionals and where some teams sat at this time. Colby, for those who don't know, ranked 8th in the 4A boys ranking as a team. So the Colby boys sitting there. And then 3A, I was going to see if I can find my 3A boys as well here. I got this poll. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Must hit the wrong tab. 3 through 1A boys rankings. Of course, Hoxie still sitting at number 1. They have for the last almost half a decade, sitting at number 1 there. Norton is number 5. And then that's about it for area schools for the most part. But when you're looking at the team standings, Hoxie, Norton kind of on the outstretch of our listening area, and Colby all ranked inside the top 10 of their respective class rankings. Of course, there's individuals ranked as well at individual weight classes from other area schools. Won't dive into all that, but all of them have a chance to prove themselves and place top 4 and advance to regional wrestling coming up here advance to state wrestling through regionals, which gets going here today and runs through tomorrow. So best luck to all the area wrestlers with regional wrestling getting going today and tomorrow. Once again, 4A wrestlers, Colby and Goodland in Beloit. All other area wrestlers from 3 through 1A going to Norton here today. In high school basketball, a few games had a few Thursday night games last night. It's funny to see a lot of these teams try to squeeze in the last few games before Friday's the cutoff. You know, you can't, once you get to Friday, the games don't matter anymore when it comes to your bracket record.
Got to do what you can.
Everyone's just squeezing everything in on a Thursday. Oakley took on Hayes TMP, the girls with another win, 45-36. I think the Lady Plainsmen have a great chance of making a deep state tournament run. Oakley boys lost to Hayes TMP 67-54. Quinter girls beat Dighton 60-34. Quinter boys also with the win over the Hornets 62-53. And Hoxie girls, they're another team that has a great chance of making a deep postseason run. 57-14, they win over Ellis. Be interested to look at that 2A sub-state bracket for the girls and see where Oakley and Hoxie stack up in that. I'm interested to see where they stack up in that bracket. Just
Hoxie's got to be like first.
I would think so. Hoxie's actually number 2 behind Ellenwood, or tied for the top, I guess. They're going to be 1 seed. Oakley's going to be 2 seed. The thing that you hope if you're those two schools is that you're in separate sub-state brackets. And right now, if the season ended today, it looks like that's how it will be. If the season ended today, Hoxie would be in one bracket, Oakley would be in another, and there's a good chance for both of them to make it to the state tournament. Although Ellenwood will be certainly a difficult team to get past. They're the top team at 21-1 at this point in time. But Hoxie girls with a 57-14 win over Ellis last night. Hoxie boys, they lose 75-61 to the Ellis Railers. So that was action from last night. Plenty of games on tap for tonight. You've got Weskin visiting Wichita County, Wheatland Grinnell hosting Tri-Plains Brewster, Wallace County going to Stanton County. Shiloh will host Oakley. There's a great girls game for you to cap off. Shiloh's had a phenomenal season. One of the best players in the state in Taylor McCarty going up against Oakley and their great group of gals that they have. That should be a really good girls game. St. Francis hosting Greeley County. Rollins County takes on Dighton at the Colby Event Center tonight. Hopefully this is the second to last or the last game that Rollins County has to play at the CEC. They're going to have their own gym backing up and running hopefully by next school year. Golden Plains hosts Logan Palco. Decatur Community will host Quinter. Hoxie visits Phillipsburg. Goodland will host Holcomb, and Colby goes to Hugoton. The slate for this weekend. Or slate for tonight, I should say. Like I mentioned, great girls game between Shiloh and Oakley. Great girls game between Goodland and Holcomb tonight. That is the GWAC title game, the de facto GWAC title game. Winner wins the league. Holcomb only has 1 loss. It's in the league. It's to Goodland. Goodland has 2 losses, both to Colby. But if they're able to beat Holcomb, then they take the GWAC title because they beat him twice. So it is an interesting night for that game tonight. And then Colby going to Hugoton tonight. What are your thoughts on the Eagles and the Eagles again from Hugoton?
I think the girls' game is much more winnable, but Hugoton has a sophomore girl, Emily Lewis, who she can just fill it up. So I think that's the biggest concern for Colby. If I remember correctly, she had like 18, 20 points, something like that the first time they played. And it was a pretty low-scoring game. I think the final was like 40-29 or something like that, if I remember correctly. But it's going to be 2 challenges, and especially traveling 3 hours south for the game too. I mean, it's not going to be the easiest, and I think especially for the boys, it's going to be a challenge because Hugoton is ranked in 4A in terms of their boys team, and they're, well, one of the best in the state in terms of 4A teams, and they've handled business for the most part this season, but they've had some stumbles here and there recently. Who do they lose to? Like a couple I think Hugoton lost to Ulysses twice.
I know Holcomb lost to Ulysses twice. I don't know if Hugoton did.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of Holcomb. Yeah, Hugoton hasn't lost since Sterling back in January.
Hugoton is rolled because they're number 4 in 4A in the rankings.
They lost to Sterling, Goodland, Manhattan, and Salina Central pretty early on in the season, and they pretty much have the GWAC locked up.
They're the GWAC team.
Yeah,
they are.
They just beat Scott City 71-37 in Scott City.
That was last night. Yeah, they beat the pants off of them.
I'm not going to say I'm worried, but the boys are healthier now. I think they get both Cody Wright and Coben Curry back for this game, which is huge. So I like our chances better than the first time we played them, because that was also in the middle of that ridiculous stretch of games where there were a few reschedulings, and then I think it was like 4 straight 3 to 4 game weeks. So now they're kind of in the clear, a little more well-rested, very well-rested, having not played a game this week. So I like our chances much more than the first meeting.
It's a hard place to play. Hugotson's a tough place to play. Small gym, gets really loud. They actually have a decibel meter in the building where you can see how loud it actually gets at times in the gym. You'll be up next to that where you sit to broadcast from. You'll see the decimal meter. So it gets really loud there. It's a tough place to win, no doubt about it, particularly in the boys' game. It's really, really loud. It'll be a tough game for the Colby boys. They'll need a great performance from everybody, and particularly Jordan Jones, to take down Hugoton, who's played really well. The girls' game, like you said, I think it'll be a really good girls' game. I think Colby can probably get that done. I mean, Hugoton does have a Miley Lewis, and a Miley Lewis is a first-team all-league caliber guard. She is very talented, a lot of skill. She's got some nice pieces around her, and Coach Adigan does a great job with his team. He's one of the better coaches in the league. But I know so is Coach Walker, and Colby's done a great job this year. I think that will be a really good game, but I'm not going to be. I'll put it this way: I'll be more surprised if Hugoton wins the girls' game. I'll be more surprised if that happens. I think Colby can get it done. We'll see.
I like your support.
Thank you. We'll see. But that should be a really good game, and like I said, we'll see. And that wraps up the league play for Colby and Hugoton. And Hugoton, of course, the boys are the league title. They are the league champs. They've already locked that up. They've beaten Holcomb a couple times. They've beaten everybody they need to get that done. In fact, their only league loss is to Goodland, which was once again a kind of a shocker, going on the road, winning down there and beating. I think it kind of helped a little bit that the Cowboys got them on a Saturday. The game was postponed from Friday night to a Saturday, and Goodland went down there and took advantage of them. And Hugoton kind of started slow, and Goodland was able to hold on at the very end to get the win. They could have lost on a tip-in at the buzzer, but it was just a split second too late, and the Cowboys walked out there with a humongous win, probably the win of the season if you're looking at it from the Goodland Cowboy perspective. It was a fantastic win for them. Speaking of Goodland, tonight at the Max Jones Fieldhouse, senior night tonight, as the Cowboys and Cowgirls welcome in the Longhorns of Holcomb. Humongous game on the girls' side, as I mentioned. It is the GWAC championship game. The Goodland Cowgirls and Holcomb Lady Longhorns will meet. Goodland has 2 league losses. Holcomb has 1. It's only to Goodland. If Holcomb wins, they're the GWAC champion. If Goodland wins, they're the GWAC champion. So it is the GWAC title game tonight in the first one, and it ought to be a doozy of one. The Cowgirls whooped Holcomb the first time they played down at Holcomb. I mean, it was the worst beating that Holcomb took this year. Goodland came out of the gates ready to play. They were Bill Bierman. I remember him. I always remember some conversation we had with Bill Bierman prior to a game, and he goes, "I feel like the girls are locked in." It was along those lines.
That's a good sign.
That's how he goes. I feel like the girls are really locked in today, and it was just kind of like that. And he was right. They were locked in, and they played great. Their defense was all over the place. Holcomb, who was playing on their own gym floor, didn't really get a lot of the shots to go because they're a team that can fill it up. When they get going, they can score a ton of points. And Goodland just did not allow it. They held them to a season-low 36. Cowgirls won by double figures. I know for a fact that Coach Artery and Holcomb have got this game circled. They're like, we want revenge for that loss that we had back at home. And so this is a humongous game tonight between the Cowgirls, Lady Longhorns. And I'll be intrigued to see, Goodland's kind of been dealing with a little bit of a bug that's going through the locker room that they can't quite seem to kick. But they've gutted it out. They looked really good, I thought, against Syracuse on Wednesday night. Played very, very well against the Bulldogs. So I know I was impressed with their play. And if they continue to play as a unit, Goodland has done a great job about not only playing good defense all season long, allowing just 33 points per game on average, but their offense has slowly but surely, unless they play Colby, slowly but surely just gotten better and better and better.
I hope we meet in sub-state. Is that possible?
Well, see, it depends on where things go with the brackets.
Yeah.
But anyway, they just keeps getting their offense just keeps getting better and better, a little bit more efficient, just a little bit better. Best shooting is better. Cowgirls going to need that tonight. And you hope that defense can be great. If you can force Holcomb to make tough shots and kind of be sped up, that's when they don't shoot it great, when they're sped up. And so we'll see if Goodland can do this tonight. I think it's a huge, huge game tonight, Goodland and Holcomb girls. We'll see how that all happens. If the Cowgirls were to win, they would capture the GWAC championship on the girls' side for the 4th time in the last 5 years. So it's been a great stretch for Cowgirl basketball. And this is the Cowgirls' ultimate goal, They always thought, what's your number one goal? Win the league. And that's what they want to do. And they got a chance to do that here tonight if they can get the win. The boys game, nowhere near as much on the line. Goodland would love to win the game to kind of help their seeding in the postseason bracket, in the sub-state bracket discussion. They would love to get a win there. Holcomb is pretty much locked into where they are. I don't think they're going to catch Beloit, who's the number one seed. Holcomb already is a number one seed, no matter what happens, whether they're the top or the 1A. Yeah, 1A number one seed. So they're a one seed no matter if they win or lose. More on that in just a second. So that's a big thing. So Holcomb doesn't have a ton to play for. They can't win a league title. It's just all about pride. But for Goodland, I would think they would like to bounce back. It has been a season of inconsistency for the Cowboys. It just unfortunately has been. There have been some nights where you're like, wow, look at this team play. At Hugoton, for example. At Cimarron, for example. Now, I know those are two completely different foes. Sometimes in the games they played at the Fleury on Flush, where they're taking on some of the best teams in 3A, like Silver Lake, they looked really good. And then you see games, unfortunately, where they just struggle. Like Wednesday against Syracuse, struggled defensively, struggled offensively. I'm curious. Every night, you just don't know which Cowboy basketball team is going to show up, and you hope that tonight it's one of the good nights, because it would be really, really handy if they were to upset the Longhorns, a team they've had limited success against. They've won just 4 times against Holcomb in the last 35 meetings.
4?
Yes, 4 times. It has been a very, very tough team for the Cowboys to crack. They beat them here recently, over the last couple of years, but it has been hard for them to crack Holcomb. But it would be really, really big if they could find a way to get that done and position themselves better in the postseason sub-state bracket. They're just on the fringe of being able to host. They would need some help, and they need to win. And if they could do that, they might. There's even not a guarantee. They might be able to host in the first round. Might.
Pretty much a win and a Norton loss would be the ideal scenario there for you guys.
It would be ideal. The problem is, I don't think that's going to, and then I look at the bracket again, and I don't know if it honestly, I don't know how they're going to do the wins to losses, because there's such a gap. You've got some teams that are, as we transition into our discussion on the sub-state bracket here a little bit, but you've got, with sub-state coming up, I don't know how Acacia is going to judge the bracket or judge the records, because some
I think it's on win percentage, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that's what it's going to be, because some teams are playing 23 games, some teams are playing just 20. Or more, or 20. Some teams are playing more than 20. Some teams are just playing 20 games. So it's got to be based upon win percentage. You're probably right there. And, if you're Goodland, you're going to need a lot of help to probably jump that spot, I think.
Yeah. It looks like it's only Norton, though. I mean, you could only move up one spot, or
and
go down.
And Norton does take on Hayes TMP. So it could be a loss. It wouldn't shock me if it's a loss for Norton at TMP. They're a good team. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's a loss. But if Norton finishes 9-11, I don't even know what that percentage is. Get out my calculator.
Figure it out.
9 divided by 11. Let's see. How do I figure that? How do you figure out that win percentage? Is it 9 divided by 19? Is that what it is? Or did it be 9 divided by 20, I guess, is what it would be. Yeah, there'd be a 4-5-0. And if Goodland went 11 out of 23, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be. So if Norton were to lose and Goodland were to win, that would put them, I guess, in a position to be in that 8th spot, and they'd be the final team that gets to host a first-round game. That's the way it looks to me. Because once again, if you've never looked at the Acacia brackets and how it kind of breaks down, we'll just use 3A as an example here. And so it's split across, 4 different sub-state brackets across the state. But within each sub-state bracket, there are 16 teams, but those 16 teams are split into 2 8-team sub-states. And so looking at, for example, this would be the boys standings for this. So you've got Beloit at the 1. Beloit is 1A. Holcomb is 1B. There's bracket A and bracket B. Lakin is 1A. Hoisington is 1B. Lakin is 2A. Hoisington is 2B. Southwestern Heights 3A. Scott City 3B. Colby 4A. Norton 4B. And those are your teams that would host in the first round. And then you've got Goodland 5A, which right now, once again, if the season ended today, based upon the standings, Goodland would go to Colby for the first round of the postseason.
Oh,
That's how it would go.
I like that.
Based upon how the sub-state bracket looks. But the reason why we can't say or lock that in is because if you look at the boys sub-state bracket, if you go from Lakin, which is in, once again, position 2A, all the way down to even if you want to go to like, Russell, who is 9-12, they're all, if a loss here, a win here, all of a sudden jumbles all that up a little bit. And you just don't know who's going to be where.
Because Colby could jump Scott City with a win.
Yes, they absolutely could. They're only like 0.0 or 0.003.
It's like 0.02 or something like that.
Not very much. It's actually less than that.
0.02.
Scott City is 0.526 and Colby is 0.523.
0.02. There you go.
So
Split
they are not far behind there. But I don't know. I feel like we're all going to see what happens tonight and who wins, who loses. Then on Saturday morning, you'll know who will be going where and what will be the first round matchups. Once again, you want to finish in the top 8, at least in the 3A bracket, in the top 8 to have a first round home game. If you finish inside the top 4, you're pretty much guaranteed home game through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs before you go to Larned, which is where, once again, Colby and Goodland will play if they make it that far. Larned is where the title games will be played for Sub-State.
Single elimination, correct?
Yes.
I figured, but
it's you got to win or it's over, baby. Got to win or it's over. So, yeah, that's a look at the Sub-State bracket, at least in 3A. I mentioned 2A a little bit ago with particularly like Hoxie and Oakley, who are both Hoxie and Oakley boys are at the bottom of their Sub-State bracket, so they're going to go on the road in the first round and it'll be a challenge there. But like you mentioned, the girls, they're going to be able to host all the way through all the way until the championship round. And like I mentioned a little bit ago, if the season ended today, Hoxie and Oakley would be in separate brackets because they're right next to one another. Hoxie is the number 1 seed in the 2 bracket, while Oakley will be the number 2 seed in the 1 bracket. And I don't think much will change upon that. There's enough of a gap between those teams to allow that to kind of stay the same. And then I don't know. And then, it's different for the small classifications. They have bigger sub-state. They have the same big sub-states, but their brackets are kind of already put together because their postseason play actually begins starting Monday, Tuesday, I think, of next week. So those brackets are already out. So you can go to Keisha and you can see the brackets are out. Like, for example, this is Quinter this is class 1A D1 girls. Quinter is a number 1 seed in their bracket. And that's in their bracket. Let's see who else is in. St. Francis is an 11 seed. So you can kind of look at that. So those brackets, if you want to go dive into class 1A D1 or 1A Division 1 and 1A Division 2, those brackets are out because their postseason begins just a little bit earlier. They'll play like on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday off, and then Thursday, Friday, the bigger classifications get going. And then it's even later than that. It's into like the following week that like 6A gets going. 4, 5, and 6A get going a little bit later as well. So it kind of comes in waves a little bit. Part of that has to do with officials. You don't have enough officials and stuff. Yeah. Sorry, I got a text message talking about officiating, which is funny. Anyway, so there you go. Go to Keisha.org. You can see the sub-state season standings, where teams stand. But once again, I really wouldn't do it until tomorrow morning. That's when you'll know, when all the dust is settled, where everybody is with win percentages. Then the brackets will be laid out, and you'll know where either you're going or who you're playing in the first round. Now, of course, if you're 1A, D1, or D2, that's already out there. Go to Keisha.org. You can find that. So there you go. Little sub-state. Any other questions for you for a first-timer going through the sub-state?
I think I'm ready to go.
There you go. He's ready to rock and roll. We will take a break, come back with our picks of the weekend. After a week off last week, unfortunately due to illness, we'll have another edition of Picks of the Weekend next here on the Morning Blitz.
Kick off 2026 ready for whatever winter brings. At Hoover Lumber, Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby, they've got the gear to start the new year strong. Get organized with rugged storage totes. And when the snow starts falling, if it does, power through it with Ego and Craftsman snow blowers. Or if it's just the light stuff, blow it away with Ego leaf blowers. And don't forget ice melt to keep your sidewalk safe all season long. New year, winter ready. Hoover Lumber, Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Helpful folks, trusted brands, and everything you need to get it done.
At F&B Bank, we believe local businesses are the heart of our community. That's why we're more than just your bank. We're your neighbor, your customer, and your biggest supporter. From the corner cafe to the hardware store downtown, we're walking the same streets, shopping the same shops, and investing in the same future, yours. We're here, we're local, and we're always in your corner. F&B Bank, banking built on community, member FDIC.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
This is Hayden Riverty with the Andersons for the morning market report. Today is February 20th. March corn is opening at $427.5, up 1 cent and 3/4. May corn is at $438.5, up 2 1/4. Kansas City wheat is at $567 3/4, up 2 1/4. May Kansas City wheat is at $579 1/4, up 2 1/2. Soybeans for March are at $1144.5, up 3 1/2. May soybeans are at $1159.5, up 3 1/2. S&P futures are down 17 points right now. Dow futures are down 96 points. NASDAQ futures are down 101 points, and gold is up 66 points. If you need cash grain to move or interest in our freedom pricing tools, call myself, Jared Law, Tom Saluto, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000. If you have any needs in Colorado, call John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Hey Max, you look sharp in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world as a guide dog?
You bet, Daisy. And your purple service dog vest really pops against your shiny fur.
First day on the job for both of us. We've got this, right?
You bet. Dogs Inc. trained us well.
Ready to make a difference for our humans?
Born ready.
Discover how extraordinary guide and service dogs change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
When it comes to cattle performance this winter, protein isn't optional. It's essential. The right protein helps cattle pull more energy from every bite of feed and keeps rumen microbes doing their job. Want better fiber digestion and feed efficiency? Feed Smart Lick protein tubs. After all, performance starts with protein. It's not about working harder, it's about feeding smarter. Go to smartlick.com. That's smartlic.com to find your dealer.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, and cleaner American fuel. This message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
All the sports you love, all in one place.
Ooh, this will come in handy.
This is the Morning Blitz.
Have you gotten into the Olympics yet? Have you gotten into them a little bit? You said you really haven't done much. Have you gotten into any of these?
Last night I passively watched some curling at center pivot. So
there you go.
If that counts.
Currently on the Gold Zone, you have the semifinals of the women's curling. You got USA, Switzerland, Canada, Sweden at this point in time. USA trailing by 1 currently. I can't. It's so small I can't see what the end it's in. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing that of all the sports I watch, that one I seem to watch the most.
It's on all the time. I don't know what it is.
It's on at the times I guess I'm looking for it. I'm looking for stuff to watch. So I
tried to catch the women's hockey title game yesterday too, but I couldn't make it. It was like right in the middle of the day.
I was able to witness the overtime goal. I didn't see much past that. I kind of turned on late and was able to see the overtime goal, which was a heck of a move there by Keller. Whew, that was sweet. And to get it done. How about 2 goals allowed by USA Hockey the entire tournament? 2.
Pretty impressive.
Don't they call that stand on your head? In hockey? Stand on your head
for
an entire tournament right there. All right, let's get to it. Picks of the weekend is back. All right, what do we got?
Gotta crack my neck and get ready for this.
I know you got to limber up here. Got to practice.
Okay. So we're both 47 and 30 going into this week.
All right.
All knotted up. I don't know where this ends, or we'll figure that out eventually.
Yeah.
But that won't be today.
Nope, not today.
We're going to lead off with an Olympic sport, the only one I think you can really use for this. And of course, that would be hockey. This is men's hockey. Slovakia in the United States duking it out today. Just throw out a team.
USA. We got USA Canada playing for a gold medal. That's where I would have to go. Have to ponder on who would win between USA and Canada.
Slovakia probably sucks, frankly.
Slovakia sucks.
I don't know, but watch them pull out like a 5-goal performance and beat on us. We'll see. All right.
Got to clip that up. Slovakia probably sucks. That's good.
That's my intro right there.
There it is. That should be your intro.
Nuggets favored by 2.5 at the Blazers tonight. NBA back after the All-Star break yesterday. This is day 2 of it being back in full swing.
I don't think the Blazers are doing much, are they?
They're hanging around the play-in area. They're decent.
Nuggets are more talented. Nuggets win.
Okay. I'll give the Blazers some love at home. The Nuggets do have Joker back, but I don't know. I got a hunch.
Okay.
The hunch almost never works, but what are you going to do? We got quite the college basketball matchup here.
It is a great week
Saturday.
in college hoops for sure, yes.
This is, in my opinion, maybe the best game. Number 4, Arizona, and number 2, Houston. On Saturday, the Cougs are favored by 5.5 at home. Oof.
What time is that game? Is that a late game?
I think it's early, actually. I don't know if it's like at noon, but I think it's at like 2, 3 o'clock.
Let's see where the line is. Oh, can't even find it. Let's try this. Try this again. Come on, Ross. Use the computer.
The line is...
let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. It is actually a 2 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Mountain Time tip on ABC. Arizona at Houston. I'm going Arizona on the road at Houston. I think Zona gets it done.
Okay,
I know Zona dropped a couple. I'm taking Wildcats.
They're on my panic meter. All right.
Really? Wow.
A little bit. I'm going to go Houston.
Okay.
They're just tougher than everybody, including Arizona.
So are you taking them to win, or are you taking the line?
I'm taking 5.5 is kind of a weird line. I think I'm just going to take Houston to win. Keep it safe.
Okay, I'm taking Arizona to win. Take Arizona to win.
Little A10, VCU at number 18 St. Louis, who lost their first conference game earlier this week in a bit of an upset, but SLU is still favored by 8.5 at home. VCU is a pretty good team, though.
I'll take the Billikens. They were, you need one of these losses to kind of just resharpen the tools, reset, and they got that done. Now they're ready to refocus and roll.
I was hoping they'd stay undefeated in conference because they'd be like a 4 or 5 seed in the tournament if that was the case, but I'm sure the committee's going to overreact and they'll be like a 9 seed now.
Do you think Miami of Ohio is going to be a 4 or 5 seed?
No. They're all the bracket projections have them as like an 11 right now.
My God.
So they deserve to be higher. They're
Couldn't
undefeated.
They be like 35-0, 34-0.
Remember when Wichita State was undefeated and they were a 1 seed?
Yeah.
This isn't too different. Like, come on. What are we doing? I mean, they might have had better non-conference opponents, but
that might be what it was. Yeah.
I digress. I will also take the Billikens in this one. I do. Actually, I'm gonna go VCU to cover. VCU is a bubble team themselves, so I'm gonna give them some love. And now, speaking of the devil, Bowling Green at number 22, Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks favored by 7.5 at home. I'm going Red Hawks.
Okay, I know how you can't go against the Red Hawks. They have surpassed everything. So I think you got to go with Red Hawks.
I agree. And I had a dream last night that they lost by like 40 to Western Michigan or something. It was really weird.
What are you dreaming about at night?
I don't know what it was. Yeah, that was bizarre, but
you need a hobby. You're dreaming about Western Michigan beating Miami of Ohio.
I don't think about a whole lot else other than
Apparently
sports
not.
these days.
Apparently not. Wow.
Penn State at number 9, Nebraska. Does Nebraska win by 20 plus at home?
Oh my, 20
Penn
plus?
State is awful.
They're
They
bad.
are bottom feeders.
I'll just have to roll with what I've done. I think Nebraska leads at some point in time by 20, but maybe only wins by like 17 or 18. So I guess if you're throwing out your imaginary line, I'm going to take Penn State to cover, I guess.
Nebraska's mad. I'm sure Nebraska would like to just pound a team right now. And I think the victim is Penn State. They're going to win by like 30.
God.
Penn State is...
They
scored 20 points in the first half against Rutgers the other day, for reference. 20 against Rutgers.
It's a very, very bad basketball program, and it has been for a very long time. I don't know how Kevin Shrewsbury had him in the tournament, a couple years ago?
Micah, yeah, he
Micah
did.
Shrewsbury, sorry.
Now he's with Notre Dame. I remember that year. They were pretty good, and that was the one year they made the tournament within
They
like the
could
last
shoot it that year, but that
10
was about
years.
it.
They had some guys on that team. I think their two best players are in the NBA. Or, well, one of them is still around. Jalen Pickett, shout out. All right, Cincinnati at number 9. Kansas, the Jayhawks are favored by 10.5 at home.
I got to take Jayhawks to roll here. Boy, I'll tell you, there's been a lot of negative media surrounding. Jayhawks covering by 10.5. A lot of negative media surrounding Darren Peterson. He's gotten kind of lit up by the national media. Kind of makes me wonder if he's going to go out there and ball out on Saturday.
I could see it. I'm just going to take Kansas to win since he's kind of scrappy. So I have a feeling they might cover it up. So I'm just going to.
Once again, the Fog is worth 8 points. Kansas is 3 points better than Cincinnati. Easy cover there.
We'll find out.
We'll see.
Here's one of the best matchups of the weekend. Number 1, Michigan, favored by 2.5 on the road at Duke.
I cannot believe this is not the best game of the weekend. You said Houston, Arizona was.
I like a little in-conference action as, the best game. Personally, it has more implications, but
ESPN says we need more of these type of games. They're putting out this now. ESPN says we need more non-conference big-time matchups in February.
No, that's fair. They're awesome. I'm not saying they're not awesome.
This one in D.C. at Capital One Arena, Michigan, Duke. Michigan favored by 2.5. I think Michigan is the best team in college basketball. Them and Arizona are the two best teams. I think Michigan is one of the two best teams in college basketball. That means they're better than Duke. Give me Michigan. I'm just taking a pick 'em. Michigan wins.
I think Michigan is definitively the best team in college basketball. But I said at Duke because I feel like this will be, I guess Duke isn't super close to where this is, but they're much closer than Michigan is. So it's going to be more of a Duke home game. I think you're going to see their fans travel a lot better to this and fill the seats. But it's hard not to pick Michigan at this point. I mean, they're just a juggernaut. They're beating up on everybody. You pick Michigan as well?
I took Michigan.
I think I'm rolling with you here.
Michigan only has one weakness, and it's three-point shooting, and boy, they lit the lights. They took the lights out of the gym in Mackey this previous week. They shot the lights out of them. So if they get that going, look out.
Yeah, that was disgusting. All right. I don't even like Purdue either.
That was a vomit game for Connor Schuh.
Yeah, that is just bad. All right. Oklahoma State at Colorado. Pick them.
CU. Why not? Had Mark Johnson on the program. We're going to go with CU.
Sorry, Mark. I'm going with Oklahoma State.
It's all right.
This is actually I think this is one where I don't feel like I have to make up a spread. This is a close one.
Okay.
Especially in Colorado. Here's one of the other marquee college games of the weekend. Number 6, Iowa State, favored by 3.5 against number 23, BYU, without Richie Saunders.
Little bedtime in basketball. It's 9:30 Central Time tip, 8:30 Mountain Time. I got to go ISU on the road. They're a more complete team than BYU, particularly without Reggie Saunders. So I'm taking Cyclones. Their defense is going to get it done. They'll find a way to slow down enough of either Wright or AJ, and they'll get it done.
Okay.
ISU.
This is no. You know what? BYU's got a great home environment. Even without Ola Ritchie, Rob Wright and AJ DeBonsa combined for almost 80 points the other day. I'm going with BYU for the win.
Okay.
All right. And personal pick, Ohio State at number 15, Michigan State. Bucks off a good win against Wisconsin. Does Ohio State keep it within 10? I think that's reasonable.
Who did Michigan State just play?
That's a great question.
Trying to figure out what their game was. Is that on Sunday? Is that a Sunday game?
That's a Sunday game. I think they've been off for a minute. I think their last game might have been. Oh, no. I remember because they beat up on UCLA and Mick Cronin lost it in the postgame.
Oh, yeah.
For reference, Ohio State beat UCLA.
Wisconsin. And they beat Wisconsin here recently, too. I'm going to take Michigan State to cover by just a hair. I'm going to say by 11 or 12. Great line, though. Going to be tough.
Yeah, I think it might be a little high. I'm going to say they do. Ohio State needs a quad one win so badly. And they were playing like a team that's desperate for one against Wisconsin, so I like it. All right, we got two more. Limited time. Kansas State at number 13, Texas Tech. Here's a ridiculous line. Just K-State, keep it within 20.
Yes. No topping anymore for Texas Tech. Huge loss for them.
That's a great point. Honestly, I forgot about that when I
don't change your mind. Yes, they keep it within 20.
I agree. I'm with you. No topping definitely sways in that direction. I should have picked 15. I think that would have been a little bit better for this.
I think I'll still take K-State to cover the 15.
Okay.
You want to put it at 10? That's when I'll start to squeal. But anyway, continue.
Okay. Steve from Binkelman brought up a great point. Huskers and K-State play baseball on Saturday, so I figured I'd throw that in. I know K-State's off to a great start. D. Kennedy, their shortstop, is the Golden Spikes Player of the Week. I don't know about the Huskers. I think they're off to a nice start, too.
3-1, lone loss to Stanford.
There you go. Pick them.
I'll take Big Red. Not going to go against my boys.
I'm going K-State. Sorry, Case Sanderson. That's your picks.
There you go. Picks of the weekend here on this Friday. Fun little pick 'em. All right, let's get to our final break. Come back, wrap it up with a few final thoughts, including new NBA anti-tanking rules. At least some ideas towards that next in the Blitz.
All your favorite artists.
It's back, and it's the most popular promotion of the year. The NWKS Radio Bracket Challenge is here.
In the corner of three. Go!
Pick up a paper bracket at participating sponsor locations, fill it out, return it, and you could win a stack of cash for your hoops knowledge. No apps, no gimmicks, just bragging rights, buzzer beaters, and a chance to cash in. This year's NWKS Radio Bracket Challenge is proudly brought to you in part by
Twister's Bar and Grill, the Farmer State Bank, Triple R Insurance, and Hurl Chevrolet GMC.
Are pests making your home or business uncomfortable? Call Pestaway in Goodland, Kansas, serving all of Northwest Kansas. They provide top-notch pest control services to keep your space safe and pest-free. From ants to rodents, termites to spiders, our expert team is here to help with effective, safe, and affordable pest control solutions. Don't wait. Call Pestaway today at 785-728-7166 for fast, reliable service. Your home or business deserves the best protection.
When you're looking for great food and friendly hometown service, make it Traditions Restaurant in Goodland. Open Wednesday through Sunday, Tradition serves up classic comfort food favorites, daily specials, and hearty meals made with care. From lunch to dinner, you'll enjoy fresh ingredients, generous portions, and a welcoming atmosphere every time you stop in. It's the perfect spot for family meals, lunch breaks, or catching up with friends. Join the Tradition at Traditions Restaurant, proudly serving Goodland Wednesday through Sunday, where good food and great traditions come together.
It's the Morning Blitz.
We're having a great time, couple of laughs, everything's nice.
Weekday mornings from 7 to 8 Mountain, 8 to 9 Central.
Speaking of college baseball, talk about Nebraska, K-State. They play this weekend. They're both at I think it's MG Bank College Baseball Series.
They're at the Globe Life Series,
yes,
right?
They're in Globe Life. K-State will face number 9 Auburn, Nebraska, and Michigan. Not easy in any 3 of those games. Nebraska gets number 15 Louisville, K-State, and number 16 Florida State.
Louisville's good.
Louisville, though, dropped the series to Michigan State, though.
I know. Maybe, hey, shout out to Michigan State and Jake Boss. Great guy. That's their head man.
So anyway, in KU baseball, they are playing a 3-game series at McNeese State this weekend for more college baseball. Also, Colby Community College softball is scheduled to play this weekend out in Colorado. They are at Trinidad State, and they take on Utah State Eastern at some point in time this weekend as well.
So Utah State Eastern.
Yeah, Utah State Eastern. I know. And, of course, don't forget we got JUCO hoops this weekend. Colby Community College at Pratt, 40 State Northwest at Cloud. Some of the other things going on regionally. All right, what about the anti-tanking rules? What stands out to you about the new NBA anti-tanking rules?
This is interesting. So it looks like they're going to put this in place next year. That's at least their plan. So I'll run through a couple bullet points here. So the lottery odds for teams will freeze at the trade deadline or a slightly later date. A team cannot pick in the top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. So, for example, like back when the Cavs picked in the top 5 2 straight years and got, what was that? They drafted Andrew Wiggins and flipped him for Kevin Love and got Anthony Bennett the year before. Couldn't do that. Lottery odds will be allocated based on 2-year records. Interesting. Not in 1. Teams can't pick in the top 4 the year after making the conference finals. So a team like the Thunder that's hoarding all those picks can't really use it to their advantage like they'd like to. Not really sure what the plan is, what they would do for teams like that. Maybe they just give the pick right back to the team that traded it initially. Maybe. What else we got? Lottery is extended to include all the play-in teams as well. So all their names are thrown into the ring and odds are flattened for all lottery teams. So a lot to chew on there, but I think the NBA should work on getting the gambling advertisements out of there first before they tackle tanking. In my opinion. That's honestly a bigger problem. They're both huge problems, but now we got Giannis sponsoring a quote-unquote sports trading site called Kalshi, which is pretty much just another gambling platform, but he put out his endorsement of it, and I don't know what we're doing.
Which, if you had to pick one of these rules, which one do you like the most of these anti-tanking rules?
Probably that teams can't pick in the top 4 the year after making the conference finals. I like that one.
Yeah, I could see. I know. What was the one about if you have back-to-back years or consecutive years of what? Is that what that is?
You can't pick in the top 4 in consecutive years.
Yeah, that one. I like that one there. Well, it was or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes.
Yeah,
that I like. Good. So if it really looks like you're tanking and you stink so bad for 3 consecutive years, that ain't going to help you.
So no more process Sixers like we saw back in the mid to late 2010s. That was a golden era. Won 10 games one year.
All right, let's get to the walk-off.
And back lifts his ball high and deep to right. How about a walk-off Brady? Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime. Mahomes flings it. It's there. Hardman. Jackpot. Kansas City.
Once again, the big-time weekend in local sports. Regional wrestling getting going here today and rolling on through Saturday. Must finish in the top 4 at your regional in order to advance to the state tournament, which will be held once again next week. And, of course, the regular season for high school basketball wraps up tonight around the area. Best luck to all the teams. There's still a lot of jockeying for position in the sub-state bracket, as we talked about it in segment number 1. So we'll see how all the dust settles after tonight. Who will be on the road for the first round? Who will be home? Who will be at home through all the first round or through first and second round, possibly. we will see about that. But postseason basketball begins next week, and look forward to seeing how it all shakes out. So that'll do it. What are your thoughts on the Bears possibly going to Indiana?
Hate it.
I find what's funny is that they're talking about going to Indiana, but they're still like on the outskirts of Chicago. Like, it's like it's the
But
outskirts.
stay in Chicago. Stay in the state of Illinois. For the love of God, just don't move. It's the Bears. They're like one of the most historic franchises in sports. Keep them there. It's like the Red Sox.
All about money, baby. It's all about who's going to give us the sweeter deal. We need that money. It's all about money. All right, that'll do it for us. For Connor Schuh, I'm Ross Volkmer. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday. It's been the Blitz.